in terms of news, I mean, we could do your news corner, but there's not much.
Uh, yeah, okay. Wait, we haven't done the intro yet.
Oh my god.
Like I have something.
Okay, we'll make that we haven't done the intro yet be our cold open.
Yeah,
And
okay.
we're gonna do the intro and we're gonna put the
Okay.
intro in front of everything we just said, okay?
Gotcha. All right.
God, how are we getting worse at this?
We're just forgetting to do the basic
Damn.
building block components of pod.
Whatever. Okay. So you want
All
to
right.
take it?
Yeah, I got something. Welcome to No Sad Face, the toxically positive Kingdom Hearts podcast with your hosts, me, regular Pat, and the guy who loves Kuji, PJ from Cabletown. PJ, how are you?
I'm just a little coochie baby. God. Okay. Well, we're gonna seamlessly edit this in. Oh boy, it has been a very quiet couple of weeks since
Since the trailer, yeah.
yeah. I mean, good. We're not really ready for more news, but at the same
Hopefully,
time,
yeah, that's true.
withdraws.
Yeah, it's the calm after, but hopefully before the storm as well.
Gimme. Anything of note with you before we start diving into all the things that we need to dive into?
Not really. You know that I think by the time this episode is out, well, hopefully my next video is out ranking the secret endings that you made a banger thumbnail for.
Thank you very much.
They'll know this, but it's blank points, baby. That's the best one.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. A lot of people were like, it's going to be the KH1 one because that's his favorite. I'm not that
I think people
base.
forget that Blank Points is a secret ending because,
See, I did too, because as I'm going through, I was like, oh yeah, you have to like do specific shit to get this. This, like, you would think it would be part of the base game ending, but it's not. Yeah.
It's not. Here's the other thing though. I think that I love Blank Points, of course, because of all of the heavy lifting narratively, and it's very
Emotional,
satisfying.
yeah.
Yeah, but I also think that, like, in terms of Kingdom Hearts storytelling, there are very few moments where we can just go, like, there's this big catharsis of, like, the act is over. We know that this is a good, like, breathing point. Like, everything is having room to go. Like, we know what's happening next. There's, like, some resolution. Blank Points is definitely that. And I don't think we've really had that since then.
Yeah, I think the closest thing before that, I would say, is the KH2 regular ending when Sora comes home. But even that, like, you're still left with the lingering sort of uncomfiness of Roxas and Naminé, and then the letter at the end, which is, it's not like dread in the way that you might feel from some other endings. Like KH1 is so sad, and, KH3 obviously has Sora disappear. But there's very few moments, you're right, that I feel like we can exhale.
My boy is gone. My son is gone. So
you gotta
I
set up
that.
the next one somehow. I get that. I get both sides.
I get that too. I think, it makes things feel.
Well, the big shoe's on the other foot now.
Yeah. Or normal size shoe now. Some nice.
Yeah, that's true.
Converse.
And they're not blue.
They're fucking not blue. I'm so sick of it. Speaking of crashing out, David told me.
Yeah.
That in the last episode, you had some out-of-pocket comments that were probably warranting of a coin flip.
I don't even remember.
I don't remember what they were, but I do remember at one point going back and listening to it and be like, yeah, he should have flipped a coin.
Nancy, okay.
So do you want to try it?
I'll do it right now. Heads is rant, tails is no rant. Here we go.
Let's go.
I did get tails.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to start auditing these. This is bullshit.
I mean, I can share my screen.
No, I don't care. I don't need it.
It's not my fault that I'm being protected by the internet.
I'm going to mail you a big bag of chocolate, but it's going to be like in the middle of August. I want to make sure that shit is
Leave it on my doorstep.
For sure. Light it on fire.
Of my new house.
Like, yeah. Oh, wow. Suddenly I have a lot more possibilities.
so many avenues. Yes.
And now we're going to talk about the Kuji after.
Yeah, right.
God. The Kuji stuff got unveiled.
Yeah, and pretty good stuff from you on that.
People keep telling me PJ was right. I'm like, okay, but here's the thing. I love being told that I'm right. That's great, whatever. but I'm not right. I was not correct. I was right that stuff was coming. But I thought we weren't going to get, if we were going to get anything this year, I thought it was going to be at D23. So I'm already wrong because it came early, and thank God.
Yeah.
But I do think that all signs are pointing towards something happening at D23.
You would think.
The Kuji was officially unveiled. We now know that it's just called Kingdom Hearts 25th Anniversary. All the prizes are there. Alongside that, not in the Kuji, a couple of really cool Sora action figures have been not released, but unveiled over the past couple of days. One is coming out in September, and I think one is coming out in January of next year. Perhaps they will formally announce what the 25th anniversary event is going to be, or how they're going to celebrate that. When they do any kind of anniversary event, it's usually not just hyper-focused on the date. It's usually like a year of things. But what that means for Kingdom Hearts or anything else, I don't know. There have been a lot of rumors going around that there might be there might be some additional stuff happening with Melody of Memory, with some sort of 3.5 package.
Right.
A couple of people have noticed that some of the screenshots of Dark Road on the 25th anniversary site do not match the text box and font of what actually appeared in game. So people are like, is it an HD remake? But some people are like, well, this is kind of the same as the development screenshots that we got, so they probably just have a file that they've been using. So, like, it doesn't mean anything, but it could be something.
A little bit of smoke.
A little bit of smoke, but yeah, the Kuji is always indicative of something happening.
Right.
And now people are realizing that, like, you know, that is probably more the case than it was when I first started talking about it. So, yeah, there is that. I also want to clarify something. I want to say that I changed my mind on something that we mentioned in the last episode.
You can do that?
Yeah, I know. The shot of we're having Feather, I said that it could be Star Wars, and it could. It very much could. I was up in the air about it. But now I've kind of come back around, and I'm thinking that particular shot is just in Quadratum. Even though the lighting is very similar to Indoor, even though, like, the forestry and all of that, like, it could still very much be. But, you know, some of it just kind of looks like it could be a metropolitan kind of park, and the structure... It's so funny,
because this was my initial, and then you talked me out of it.
I mean, I could still be wrong. The thing that gets me, the thing that I'm just kind of back and forth on, is the structure that the hooded guy is standing under. It does not look like a bridge from a park. Like, it looks kind of...
like
sci-fi.
Metallic-y, or yeah.
Yeah, so, but it's not the same shape as, like, the bunker that I pointed out in Star Wars. So I don't know. I could be wrong. Right now, I kind of think it most sort of resembles the airships that are battling the dark side in the most recent trailer. But again, we just don't have enough information. So, you know, I could be wrong. I definitely don't think the feathers are Sephiroth. I'm definitely not putting any stock in that. I think I'm right about the feather thing for missing Link.
It would just make the most sense for it to be missing Link. Like, that's... I think Occam's razor, if you know about the stuff from the beta, just makes sense. I have also heard Maleficent's Raven, but that's a lot of feathers for one bird.
That's what I said. Although it would be really funny if it was like something happened and the Raven ended up like a cooked chicken and it just doesn't have any.
Yeah.
But, you know, come on.
Nakey Diablo.
Come on. Well, that's the news corner, folks.
There you go.
Yeah, today we're taking a pivot. You know, originally we were going to be talking about the novels and the manga today. But I have not finished the novels. One of the earliest things that we talked about doing when we planned this season out was talking about these. And, you know, Pat hadn't done the manga yet, and I have never read the novels in full. So we thought, okay, well, this would be really fun for us to kind of swap and do that. And I really underestimated
one of those
just how many
bit off
novels
more than
there
you can chew situations.
I guess so. I've never had a problem getting a lot of stuff in my mouth before, but this is a 12-pound book.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's a very easy read. That's not the problem. The problem is
I wouldn't say it is. I know it's short. Is it an easy read? I'm not sure, but then we'll save that for next time.
Yeah, well, stay tuned. I'm like, Alex spent so much money on this book, and I'm just going to tear it apart. It's going to be horrible. But that's a future episode. But it's coming. It's definitely coming. I want to say as well, in talking a little bit about what we're talking about today, acknowledging that when we mapped out this season last year, we had a plan. We had more things going on. We had guests lined. Like, it was a whole other thing. And I want to say January, when we were starting recording and getting all the ducks in a row, was when the entire Kingdom Hearts community decided, wouldn't it be great if we just fucked with PJ? Because I swear to God, in a 2.5 week radius, people started uploading videos, and not just like run-of-the-mill videos. I'm talking about like feature-length documentaries of every fucking subject we wanted to cover this season.
Yeah.
People were talking about the lost games. People were talking about voice acting. People were talking about this and that and the other. And the thing that got me the hardest was about today's topic, which, you know, we're talking about fandom spaces and events. There was a video that was, it's an hour-long documentary about the origins of the Kingdom Hearts community. In particular, what happened to my first haunt, the Ansem Report. Uploaded by a YouTube user named Scramble. It's only got like 1,000 views, which like 1,000 people is good. Like, that's not bad at all. But I think for the quality of this video, and I think it would be a shame if this episode got more views than that documentary does, because it is fascinating. So I'm definitely going to link to it. Yeah. And I don't want to take too much wind out of its sail. So like, I'm going to be careful about talking about this. I think I'm just going to focus mostly on my experiences. Yeah. But it is so good. And it was like such a gut punch. I don't know if you've seen this video.
No.
Okay. You know what? I am going to talk about it. Yeah. Please go and watch it. We got a comment the other day saying, "Hey, PJ, I'm sorry, but I paused the video to go check out the thing that David was mentioning." I'm like, no, don't apologize. Please, like, if we're talking about something, leave.
Yeah,
if you know what we're talking about. Like, my goal with this season is to educate you guys about stuff and to have fun. So, like, if you go seek out the thing we're talking about, like, what a gift. I guess for context, when I first played the game, it was around when my parents divorced, so that would have been end of 2002, beginning of 2003, which is when it came out. And famously, you know, I played it on weekends at my dad's. It took me like 9 months to finish. I was horrible at it, but I only had like so much time to play it, so it was whatever. And when I did play it, I was like, okay, so, you know, it's been 9 months. Surely the sequels come out by now, because, you know, video games came out really quickly back then. And the Ansem Report, not the podcast, the fan site, was the first thing that I found. And I kind of got in at the best time, because Final Mix was out. And like, they had just announced Kingdom Hearts 2 and Shade of Memory. So I was sitting pretty. I was like, oh my goodness, exciting. This world is opening up. Back in the day, you know, you did not have the centralized internet that you have now. Like, if you're a fan of something, you're going to go to a Reddit, you're going to go check out YouTube, and that's pretty much it. Maybe a Twitter. Yeah. And that wasn't the case back in the early 2000s. You had dedicated fan sites, right? And not just one. Like, Ansem Report was the first and the biggest, but it was not alone. Like, there were like networks. Like, people would like join forces and you know, be part of bigger groups. And if one site didn't have what you were looking for, the other one did. You know, one might be known more for translations. One might have people on the ground in Tokyo or in Los Angeles who go to events. Because like for E3 and stuff, like, it was not as, it was kind of mysterious, and like, people weren't really traveling and they weren't going to it the way that they were towards the end of it, you know? Right. Con culture hadn't been super like mainstream at that point. So like, you know, nowadays, like, everybody goes to Comic-Con or whatever if you're a fan of something, and that wasn't the case back then. And again, you know, YouTube had not been invented yet. So some of these sites would host videos, or you'd have to go to like a file sharing thing and wait for hours to get some crappy over the shoulder footage from a closed event or whatever. Like, it was really, to be a fan, especially of this series in the early 2000s, meant going the extra mile, especially because so much of the stuff was contained to Japan. So, like, finding it and sharing it with the rest of the world, like, these were real acts of love that I actually can't imagine many people doing now.
Well, because everything is just so easy now, you know? Like, you have to put in effort and dedication, you know, to stay in the loop. Back then. Now it's like I'm trying to be less in the loop with certain things, you know? You're inundated.
Yeah, forums, of course, were also another thing where, like, you know, some forums had bad blood with each other. Like, there were groups. There was, like, really robust role-playing groups within the communities and fan fiction groups. I mean, these things all still exist. Yeah. but for some reason, it just felt like there were more of them back then.
I think because a lot of us were younger, you know, because
Yeah,
I don't remember doing like message board role play stuff as it pertained to Kingdom Hearts, but on GameFAQs in like 2006 to 7, I remember being on like Paper Mario message boards, and like that was just a thing people did. They like made their own characters, and they like had stories, and you know, I think there's still a young fan base for this series, but they didn't grow up with that being like a thing that people did online. So
no, and the thing about these retrospectives that I've been seeing lately, like this in particular documentary that I'm talking about the Ansem Report, there was also like another. It was like a group chat of like all the old guards who had their other fan sites. So like, I think Nietzsche from Ansem Report, I think Pete from kh2.co.uk. Like there was like a round table of old heads as well that exists talking about like, you know, what the sites were like and what they were doing and, you know, why they did whatever they did. And at the time when Kingdom Hearts came out and when I was on the internet, like I waited until I was 13 to join the forums because I was like a role follower.
wow, that's actually very surprising to me.
So I would like follow along and was like, I can't join the forums yet because I'm 12. So I would wait.
I was posting on those GameFAQs boards when I was 11.
Well, I was like, I don't want to get in trouble. I'm like, blah, blah, blah. But also, you know, but that's the thing. Like, I was so young back then that I was too young to be on the internet. I wasn't, but you know what I mean? Yeah. And so, like, when I watch a lot of these retrospectives and people who are talking about it, like, they're in their 40s. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I remember you when I was a child thinking you were so cool.
Right.
And now it's like, but now we don't have any kind of, like, rapport. Because I was too itty bitty. I was too little. Right. And it's crazy now that people think of me in our community as like this ancient tome of wisdom. Yeah. I'm just the person that didn't go away. You know what I mean? Like I'm just there's so many people older than me.
More than anything.
For sure.
That's the thing. Like when even in this franchise's infancy and you know with other stuff, someone had to be the adult in the room and like, you know, the leader in the space. And now those people are, you know, older. And some of them were older than they were at the time when they were being those figures.
Yeah. Well, here's why this is relevant to you with the video that I don't know if you were researching. I know that you were researching old theories and stuff. I don't know if you ever found that flow chart of the countdown from the Kingdom Hearts 1 secret ending.
Oh, I mean, I did a lot of reading about the countdown, but I never came across a flow chart.
There's a graphic that, you know, takes the, you know, 13 to 2 flow chart. And like they made it, like they took all the screen caps and they made a chart of it, and you can kind of see that it creates like a tangible sort of thing. That was first cracked by the Ansem Report. I think the creator of the Ansem Report, Target Dog, is the one who created that. And like you're talking about a secret ending from a PS2 game from 2002, 2003, I guess, because of Final Mix. People couldn't have pieced this chart together without pausing every fucking frame and like getting screen caps, which was not easy back then.
I'm trying to think, could you even pause the secret ending? And if you could, that's still really annoying.
But yeah, like they figured out that this was a thing that made sense.
Yeah.
And like there was that kind of level of like, it's still there. Like fandoms still do that, but I feel like it's so much easier to catch hidden things now. Like,
yeah.
If the Star Wars ATST foot had happened in 2002, I don't know if anybody would have.
It could have taken months. It might not even still have been noticed.
It would have been like Bigfoot footage too, because it would have been like over the shoulder.
Sure, yeah.
Closed event, like you know, if someone
right.
So for the past like 20 years or whatever, Target Dog, who created the site, sold it to Nietzsche, who currently owns it. And Target Dog just kind of vanished, and he was like the cool one that, you know, I think did this flowchart. But if not, like he definitely was like a speculator, and he's vanished, right? So for years, people haven't been able, like the people who were putting together this documentary and other fans haven't really been able to find him. They didn't really know what was happening. So the person that did this found, I think, a company that he worked with. Like a creative collective that turned into a game studio. Guess what this fucker did? Guess what Target Dog did? You're never going to guess it. You're never going to believe it. Target Dog is the creator of Blueprints.
No shit. Oh my God. That's crazy.
So I'm like, oh my God. I was in love with Blueprints, and I had poured so much time into it and So did David, and we were talking, and we were watching this documentary, and I dropped it in Requiem, like, the biggest fucking plot twist of your life happens halfway through this documentary. You have to watch it.
Wow. I just started playing it like a week ago.
And it's crazy. Like, there's nothing really Kingdom Heartsy about that game.
Yeah.
But there is something about it that kind of like scratches the I need to, like, there's something more here itch.
Well, I think it's
that isn't early gaming.
And I haven't played even, a chunk of it yet, but I feel like it's something that really rewards attention to detail. And I do think that's like, a part of these secret endings, or even just the games themselves. Like, you have to, pay attention to stuff and pick up on these hints being dropped.
People grow up with these games and then they go off and they make games of their own. And
right.
I think we're
maybe
just
I'll
not
go on to do something cool.
TikTok, I don't know what to tell you. Like, your 30's coming real quick, man.
I know, it's banging down the door.
We're Donald the Goofy and Dream Dropping. Like, do you think we'll ever do something important?
Yeah.
Answer Report. This is what that community was like, and I met some people there when I was old enough to start posting. Answer Report had a lot of outages. It had a period of like, it's gone for a couple days, it's back. It's gone for like a long time, it's back. And it kind of got to the point where it was like, oh, too much is going on. Like, we can't stay here and like we can't fuck with it. So at one point it did kind of go away, and I hit the great migration of looking for another fan site to go on.
Right.
And my next home after that was kh2.co.uk, which became Kingdom Hearts Ultimania, a British Kingdom Hearts website.
See, this one I do remember seeing around. Obviously, I'm a little younger, and so I like Answer Report is not ringing for me, but this is. I feel like I was on here a little bit.
Answer Report and Sora's Domain, I think, were the earliest sites, and they kind of went away. But KHU and Kingdom Hearts 2.net, which became KH Insider, they stayed. KH Insider is still around. And technically Kingdom Hearts Ultimania is too, but it's not being actively updated. It's just kind of around. But Pete ran KH Ultimania back when it was, kh2.co.uk. And everything that Answer Report was, KHU did, and then kind of did better. Really quick reporting because, they were British, so not too far from Japanese time, like in America you were. Churro, who is still around, was their go-to guy for like E3 and events stateside, so like they had really good coverage when it came to news. And I got my feet wet there. KH Ultimania had the first big Kingdom Hearts leak, because North American testers sent a bunch of stuff to Pete, so they had like English screenshots and the English opening and stuff, and got a cease and desist from Square Enix. Yeah, the Fandom's first cease and desist. Yeah. So that was wild. But yeah, that one I spent way more time on, and I made friends with the staff, and some of them, liked me because, I was like a little precocious baby. I kind of bumped up in moderator status, and I started doing articles and stuff at KHU. By the time I was doing articles, KHU was basically on its way out, and Pete was like, I don't want to run this anymore.
Yeah.
And the internet became more centralized, and so the fan sites weren't really getting as much traction. Forums weren't really as big of a thing.
Right.
And Kingdom Hearts 3 had not really been announced yet, and when it did, ironically, when Kingdom Hearts 3 got announced, that was kind of when Pete was like, okay, we're done. So he shut the forums down, which I mourn, because there are so many...
Probably so much stuff lost.
I mourn it a lot because there was a really great thread where I was telling everyone in 2009 that I thought that Vanitas was going to look like Sora, and no one believed me.
There's no proof.
And then they took a screenshot of it, and then someone said, oh, wait, no, he's right. And they... they had taken a screenshot of the launch trailer of Birth by Sleep where Vanitas' face mask starts melting, but it cuts before you see his face. And the guy had taken a screenshot of that and had put that screenshot over Sora's face in Kingdom Hearts 2 and did like, the transparent, like 50%, 100% opacity thing.
Right.
And like the proportions were exact. And he was like, oh, wait, no, Vanitas is going to end up looking like Sora. But then he posted that same screenshot in other forums, and those forums survived, so it looks like he came up with it himself when it was really trying to disprove me. And I was like, are you kidding me?
Stolen dollar.
It's not just about me being right. Like, I want to see some out-of-pocket shit that I said that was wrong, too. Like, I want to know how annoying I was 20 years ago, and I also am kind of happy that no one can ever find it.
Yeah.
But yeah, KHU kind of died, and so KH Insider, which again was Kingdom Hearts 2.net in that era, which I'm going to be fully honest, I fucking hated that site for so long, because right before I kind of came around, it had kind of been, there were people that kind of took over the forums that weren't really Kingdom Hearts fans. And so it got pretty toxic there pretty quickly. And since then, like, that had all kind of, that's kind of washed out. The site is kind of still like the oldest and one of the biggest databases of Kingdom Hearts information. And like in our circle, I get very frustrated because in Requiem, people are always going to be like, hey, where's this art? Like, I need this thing. Like, I can't find it. I'm like, it's on KH Insider. We cropped that forever ago. The transparent version is on. This is here. It's there.
Right.
The Ultimanias are all there. Gold Panther did them. Just go fucking look.
He's talking about me a little bit, folks. I've definitely been asking these questions sometimes.
Anyway, but yeah, KH Insider was where I kind of stuck around for a while. I'm still there. I'm still a staff member. I will still post news there occasionally. It's just kind of me and Ariel right now.
Right.
It's just kind of sad because it's not really like, there's not like a lot of people who are making the jump over to the forum.
Right.
It desperately needs new blood. I can't have the same conversations just happening again and again and again.
Yeah.
But that's also just kind of the cyclical nature of fandoms. Like, it's like that everywhere. Yeah. So, that is what it is. But ironically, even though I've been on these sites for so long, I only really made a handful of friends that like were friends. You know what I mean? Like, that have stuck around from that era. Otherwise, like, I feel like most of my friends that I've met here in Requiem and March Caprice and all of that, like, those are the ride or dies. Like, those are the ones that I'm going to continue being friends with.
At this point,
already longer than the first generation.
It's been 5 years.
Yeah. But I do wonder if we had the variety of Kingdom Hearts fan sites now that we did then, and the fandom culture and the people that were working on so many cool people still do work on things,
of course,
but like, I think a lot of people that have their heads down working on stuff, like, they have their own like little private Discords and stuff, and that's cool. I mean, we're definitely guilty of that.
Sure.
But it's keeping us all from finding each other.
Right, like, it's we're all locked up in our house, and
and I wonder
we used
if
to
the
have
drought
parties on the cul-de-sac back in the day.
Yeah, and there's no third spaces for Kingdom Hearts fans.
That's really what it is. I know it sounds silly, but he's right. Like, we're all like, Discord makes it so difficult to not only find information. In a way, it makes it difficult to like form a broader sense of community, because we have very small ones like Requiems where you and I met. And then you have something like the general Kingdom Hearts server, which is like, there's so many people that it's unusable, not to shade anyone that works there or on that, but you pop into a general on there and it's like, there's 4 conversations happening. And I feel like everybody here is quite young. It's just like, it's chaos. So like, I feel like we lack that middle ground where it's like not so massive where everything gets drowned out, but not so small that it's undiscoverable.
Yeah. And I think that if things had been a little different during the worst of the drought, like, maybe it wouldn't have been as unbearable,
Yeah.
I also want to give a shout out to all the other international sites that I wasn't really a part of, but I knew that existed. KH Destiny is probably the biggest one, and they're still around. They're a French site. I think KH Destiny or KH Island, one of the two. It's crazy. There's Destiny and Island, 2 separate sites. I think Destiny, and maybe I'm wrong, one of those French sites were the first people to upload images from the Ultimania, which was huge. So like, for a long time, the Ultimanias didn't come stateside, and they have so many interviews, but also art. Like, if you looked up Kingdom Hearts art, you would see, I think, a Kingdom Hearts Destiny watermark in the logo from the Ultimanias for years. Which was, I mean, they're right. It was their image. But they were like, it was the only place that you could get some of this stuff. You know what I mean? It was pretty crazy. I know that some of the international sites also kind of huddle around the lack of attention that they get from Square. So, for example, Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2, they are outliers in the series because they have like really broad dubs for the international releases. So, they didn't just have English and Japanese, like, they had French and Spanish and German, and after Kingdom Hearts 2, they stopped doing that.
Yeah.
So I know that some communities, like KH World, I think, is the Spanish one. I think they do subtitles, and I think one of them does dubs. I know that there have been multiple ongoing projects for dubbing Kingdom Hearts in Spanish from one of those sites, but I also know that, like, I think that there are German and French and maybe Italian.
I feel like I remember
also done that.
I feel like I remember a Portuguese project as well.
That sounds right. I feel like there might be a Brazilian group that is doing Portuguese.
Yeah.
But I mean, it just kind of speaks again to, you know, communities kind of finding each other, and the fact that we don't really know that much about it. Like, we're so separated.
Yeah.
And part of it is a language barrier thing, but also part of it is just like a lack of exposure. Like, the Japanese Kingdom Hearts fandom is so, for lack of a better word, foreign to me.
Right.
Because they just seem so secluded, but also
like you would think, like, how are we not like bumping into each other more often, you know?
If anyone out there is listening and they do, I would love to hear from you, because this is a major blind spot for me. Because I'm always wondering, like, what are they thinking? What are they theorizing? Like, do they know more than we do? Have they cracked, you know, things that we haven't cracked?
Yeah.
You know, say crack again. And... But yeah, much love. I know that a couple people have said, you know, you should talk about the foreign Kingdom Hearts fan sites. And yeah, I know the ones that I mentioned, but I'm also sure that there are lots of blind spots that I'm just not aware of. And if there's anything in particular that you want to share, like, always feel free to send it to the inbox. I always love learning more about this kind of thing.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. We love to learn here.
When you became, like, part of the fandom... I know that you've been playing for a while, but when you kind of decided, like, okay, now I'm going to entrench myself. Was there anywhere in particular that you kind of found yourself, or had the internet just become, like, too centralized at that point?
It's a little bit of both, because I think it was like that transition period of the internet becoming centralized. So, like, I was on a forum, but it was like a centralized gaming forum. So within, it was GameFAQs was my place. I remember looking at, like, I feel like, was it NeoSeeker?
I think so.
Yeah, there were definitely forums there. I think I remember lurking there, but I actively posted on, like, the Kingdom Hearts message boards. Each game had its own board, and each board had, you know, its own moderators and communities, and they'd play games, and you'd recognize people's names, but it wasn't like a place where you could, like, work on a project, you know what I mean? Like, whereas I feel like when you're talking about these older forums, like, people were, like, collaborating on something that could potentially be tangible or be, like... Yeah. You know, a way to spread information or to get word out to people. Like, it wasn't really like that. It was much more casual, like, you know, discussions. A lot of people were just asking for help on the games. That was just the nature of GameFAQs. But sometimes you'd have, like, forum games, and you could, I remember Hurt and Heels. You ever play a Hurt and Heel on a message board, PJ? Yeah, it was
yeah.
You'd have, like, all the characters. They'd have, like, you know, they'd have a list of characters in the main topic, the OP, and they'd all have, like, 20 health points, and then each post was like, I'm gonna hurt Sora and heal Riku, and it was like, that was the whole game. It was mindless. That was
popular with Worlds.
Yeah, that too.
The Kingdom Hearts Worlds, and I think KH Insider, I think there was a topic for that.
Hurt and heals were a big part of my my early exposure to fandom.
I also want to call out, people are going to give me shit for this because I didn't mention it, so I'm going to mention it now. KH Insider had a game. It had, like, a video game that you could play in the browser on the forums called Kingdom Hearts Inferno. It was a text sprite RPG thing that I know very little about because I did not play it. But I know that it's out there, or was out there. Before this, I actually did spend some time trying to find any resources or assets or whatever, and I could not. So
that's sad.
But, you know, if you did play, or if you have footage, if you have aided it in where you have some sort of, like, build or whatever, feel free to send that in as well, because it sounded really interesting.
It does sound interesting.
If I'd known about it, I probably would have given them pixel art. So
yeah,
that kind of wraps up my experience. I mean, I could go into more detail about the events that I went to through KH Insider, but I think some of that steps on your toes a little bit, and, like, I've talked so much about it, like, it's not really even interesting anymore. But also, we have so many more patrons that we got to get to.
Yeah, that's true. Let's do it.
Oh my god, so many people have joined. Let's go over to the Patron Corner. No Place is brought to you by our patrons at Patreon. A really great month June was. Into May, into June. I think we have the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer to thank for that. Also,
for sure.
Keeping some of our secret salacious stuff to patrons only, I think also, helped a little bit. And, you're welcome. If you want to join, there's a QR code here that you can scan. But the best way that you can help us, as always, is to comment, is to like, is to subscribe, and to share our show with your friends.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, well, then let's get to it. First person that we're going to shout out is Cosmic Stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Our patron, who also goes by Zach.
Yes, a legend.
Yes. Luxord fanboy, looks like.
Yes. Also, a big fan of the White Mushroom. And this we'll get into ReConnect, but met Zach at ReConnect in Denver, but they were cosplaying the White Mushroom. And
I don't think we talked, but I remember that costume. It was really cool.
Great group of friends. Me and RF kept running across them throughout the weekend, and they were just like such nice people, giving us, food recommendations for the area. Just a chill group. Good taste of friends and good taste in podcasts. Yeah,
but we'll get to that in a minute. We're almost there, so that's going to happen. But thanks, Zach. Love Luxord. I don't love the way he looks in Kingdom Hearts 4. Ava said a very funny thing like a couple weeks ago. She said the only... the first time, her first one, she said the only people that find Luxord attractive in Kingdom Hearts 4 are people who aren't attracted to men. And I thought that was very funny.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the case with Zach, but that was very funny.
Applies to me.
Next person is Alpha version 42. Hello, friend. What's
These
up?
are both patrons of mine as well. Alpha's been around for a good while. Met Alpha at ReConnect as well. I think Alpha's he was part of a group that played Sonic Shuffle with me in a very cramped hotel room. It was fun.
What a thought. What an image.
Yeah. We get crazy after hours at ReConnect.
Yeah, and guess what? Alpha has a Twitch as well. I don't know if Alpha is currently twitching.
I'm not sure. I know within the past year, he finished his Final Fantasy binge. He was going through every single mainline Final Fantasy, which I've been trying to do, but taking a long time. I'm currently in the middle of 5.
You know who else has subscribed relatively recently? Everybody's favorite little heartless puppet Rowdy, vis-a-vis Halloween Town.
Ooh, yes. Another person that I became aware of through ReConnect, specifically the Million Dreams Awards.
Very cool.
Winner of cosplay for that event.
Very, very cool. I voted for this particular costume. Halloween Town does a lot of really cool costuming stuff, does a lot of cool puppetry stuff. We bonded over some designs that I did of what Kingdom Hearts would look like on stage. I've done some costume designs and some rod puppet design. Right. Halloween Town's just really cool. Speaking of really cool, we have everyone's, favorite woman that we know. It's regular fiance.
Oh, everyone's favorite woman that we know. Yeah, that's actually how I proposed.
I know.
I got down on one knee and I said, "You're my favorite woman that I know," and she is.
Yeah, I was in the water. My face kind of went up, and I was like, "He's ruining this. He's blowing it.
He's blowing it." Yeah, it was like kiss the girl. Yeah, I think she felt a little like, "Oh, well, if Alex is a patron, I guess I have to be one too." So, thanks, Alex.
That's exactly. Well, she messaged me as soon as she did it, and she went, "Where's my perks?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Damn, bitch, calm down. What do you want? Do you really want to be in that chat? I don't know if you do."
Yeah.
And she's not listening to this, so what's the fucking point?
She actually, the most recent episode she listened to was the Sunny Novus one.
Of course, the one where someone else is talking the majority of the time. It's not you or I.
I guess she said she was curious about the missing link stuff, which did not strike me as something that she would say as somebody who is not.
What? Huh.
Yeah.
Why doesn't she just ask us?
I don't know.
Okay. Regular fiance, you are welcome here. You and I, we've been buddies for a long time. I'm really glad that you're getting married to Pat. I don't know how that's going to work.
What do you mean?
Apparently you and I have reconciled.
Oh. We're legally separated, but the paperwork is coming along.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen anything, so. This isn't funny. This bit's not funny anymore. Who fucking cares?
It's just because we've gone through like divorce and reconciliation and alimony. Like we've done it all,
Yeah,
what's the next step for us?
I think one of us has to hire a hitman to kill the
other.
I was
going to say, I think it ends in death.
Last person. We didn't plan this one, but it's just how it works out. Keyblade Spymaster, the creator of March Caprice.
That's huge because that's a good segue And
It
KSM
really is.
has poured so much heart and soul into not just March Caprice, but the community, and KH Database.
Yeah. KH Database is huge.
Yeah.
KSM, I think it's not an accident that we end up, kind of resonating with so many people in the fan base that work on preservation and wanting to make sure that, like, everybody has as much information as possible, and that if you want to find it, you can. And it's funny because it's kind of like, on one hand, the centralization of the internet has kind of robbed us of spaces. But, if we're going to look for a silver lining, being able to distill information in a very quickly accessible way, I think that's a worthy goal. And people like KSM, people like Chain, not people like you and I, because we're very destructive.
Yeah.
But lots of other people in the community, they're really holding it down. I think the thesis of this season has been, in times when the creators of the thing aren't present, like, we kind of have to hold this shit down ourselves.
Yeah, fill in the gaps, yeah.
And, what does that mean? What does it mean to be responsible for a thing that you love that you don't have any control over? And that's a question that people like KSM are answering.
I think we answer it a little bit with each episode, too.
Yeah. And if you listen, you're part of the chain. You're part of the information getting spread.
A super spreader event, they say this podcast is.
No, not that. We're not doing that. Although, speaking of which, I did get COVID, remember? At ReConnect.
Yeah, you were like the only one, though.
I still am mad about it. I don't understand.
Nobody else that I met or was aware of got
Did
COVID,
one person just cough in my mouth?
Yeah, did you sleep on the plane? Because that's probably how they got you.
I had a mask on.
I did too.
And I wasn't the only person on that plane. Alex was on that plane. He didn't get it. Fucking Sunny and Hannah were on that plane, and they didn't get it. So you tell me what happened. Anyway, thanks for your money. Bye.
Thank you. Thanks for your money.
Well, Pat, I'm really interested in how you're going to cover these.
I don't know.
Okay, cool.
I mean, well, we have shifted over to the modern section of the pod, which is, I guess, where I come in.
Yeah.
We just, we talked a little bit about my early exposure to the KH fandom and, the message boards of it all. But, I would say I stopped really frequenting those boards probably around Dream Drop in the remix. I think I probably stopped back in once 1.5 came out in 2013. I remember posting about how I thought, this is like my biggest shot that I've called. It's not that impressive, but I was like, I think Xigbar will be like, a very major figure post Xehanort's defeat. That was like my big thing that I feel like I called back in 2013. I feel like a lot of people were saying that, but I think that was in the wake of Dream Drop. I was like, okay, he's going to be like maybe even the next main villain.
Definitely something there. Yeah.
Yeah. A little bit of something.
But also, side note, in that same vein, our finale is going to be dealing with the future and with speculation culture in the Kingdom Hearts fandom. So you know what? I'm gonna put this call out several times, but I'm gonna start it now because it's applicable. We want to hear your theories and ideas for what could happen in the future of Kingdom Hearts. So if you have a Kingdom Hearts 4 theory or idea, we're going to react to it in the last episode. Try to keep it short. Like, don't send us a 400-page book. That's not what this is.
Elevator pitch.
Yeah, give me your quick line. Give me a one sheet.
Sounds good to me.
You were saying.
Oh yeah, just that I was on those message boards still probably into 2013, but then as I'm high school into college, I'm just not like focusing on the series in general as much. Like from 2013 to 17, I mean, outside of your Unchained and Key, Union Cross or whatever, there's not a ton going on outside of like re-releases of old stuff. So I would like I picked up 1.5, picked up 2.5, played them, but I wasn't like engaging with the community. I remember like reading about level 1 strats because I wanted to do a level 1 run on KH1, but I wasn't like an active participant anymore. So it really was only when I started my channel that I tried to like find some semblance of connection with people, because I look around and I just feel like people know other people and they just are sharing resources with each other. And I was like, how do I like get in on this? And I didn't really find it myself. I was reached out to by Keynote in November of 2020. we're coming up on 6 years of this, which is sickening to me. But
Crazy.
back when I was trying to get the channel more attention, this would have been, late 2019 into 2020, I would post my most recent videos on KH13. I don't know how many people, watch these. I feel like KH13 was just like the first thing that I found when I was looking for like a forum to post things on, like maybe, to harken back a more centralized, not centralized in the way that the internet is, but like a hub of operations for KH fans. I was just looking for because I didn't want to post. I post on the Kingdom Hearts Reddit to very middling results, sometimes negative. And it's like, I don't know where else to put stuff besides YouTube to get people to want to engage with it. So a couple times I posted on KH13. I stopped doing that once the channel took off because I felt like I would just be taking up space. Like no one needs to see me doing shit there.
I agree.
Yeah, just part of the game is knowing when to step back. So that's what I did.
I'd like to see it.
But I guess my videos were getting passed around in Requiems, which is at the end of the day, my hub for community engagement when it comes to sharing resources and ideas and asking for help on things like that. It really is such a workshop, and it has been since I've shown up there. But before I was in there,
it's a glorified group chat too. I don't want people to be like, "This is a secret society. You have a forum."
No, it's not right. The Requiems is David Russell's Discord channel that I think actually Samuel Camel started, right?
Yes. Yeah.
But it was all meant for discussion based on his Music of Kingdom Hearts series. So that's how it originated. It was supposed to be mostly discussing the music, but it kind of turned into a catch-all of, working on different kinds of projects and stuff. And again, mostly just we're friends and we talk and we shoot the shit and watch movies and play games and stuff. But before I was invited there, I guess Keynote and David were sharing my videos in there and talking about them. And then someone said, hey, let's invite Pat to this thing that we're working on, which at the time was called Project Spring Ticket. Did you know that?
No. What the fuck is that?
That is the fetal version of what would end up going on to become March Caprice.
Why did they call it that?
I don't know. Keynote messaged me it was November 20th of 2020, and the subject line was Project Spring Ticket. And he said, sorry for contacting you out of the blue, but I want to invite you to something pretty special. Some other people and I are working on organizing some sort of online KH-themed convention with the goal of showcasing different smaller content creators from the community, currently planned for sometime next year. Wanted to know if I wanted to be involved in participating as well. And it's funny because he said, we're still, of course, just planning everything out, but the concept so far seems to be focused on smaller and friendly KH content creators. So that must have gotten lost in the shuffle at some point, because I did end up contributing. The friendly part, a little bit of a question mark, I would say. And then you're in it too. So, so he invited me to this thing. And then he linked me to the March Caprice Discord, which is separate from Requiems, but that was where we would meet. It still exists. It's still publicly accessible. At the time it was called Project Spring Ticket, and we'd have meetings I want to say they were on Sunday. And it was just about getting this thing together, and we didn't really know what it was at the time and what even to call it. I was an organizer that first year, and then I was like, this is too much work. So I haven't served in that role since. I was an advisory.
You coined the name though. Didn't you suggest it should be called March Caprice? Yeah.
I did, and I wish, if they didn't strip me of my organizer role, I'd be able to search and find the list of proposed names that I gave.
I can give it back to you, but I don't think it's that important.
Yeah, it's not that important. We were, pitching names, and the one that I came up with that I was most fond of was March Caprice, because, for anyone who doesn't know at this point, that is the, part of the title of the credit song for KH1, March Caprice for Piano and Orchestra. The event takes place in March. That is the Japanese release month of the game. So just seemed like a layup to me. Yeah. And now it's now March Caprice is going on 7 years, and it's heading to its final one in March of 2027. I guess I didn't really set up what it ended up being. It's not too far from what Keynote had described. It really is I would call it an online convention, or it's almost like a chain, like a chain of content that leads from one person to another. Back when we started, it was only, I think it was just Saturday, Sunday. I think it was just 2 days. Could you imagine how novel? A short, not overstaying our welcome sort of situation. We're not familiar with that concept. But then it turned into Friday as well. And now it's all week. It's a whole week. 8 days even wasn't the last one? Wasn't it actually 8?
Well,
7 or 8.
I guess it depends on when you how you look at it. But yeah, it was over a week. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot of fun. I did not participate that first year, but I did watch. Like I don't remember who I was following at the time. This was post Kingdom Hearts 3 releasing, KH Insider kind of winding down, and I really felt like an island at that point.
Yeah.
I had some friends who were doing Kingdom Hearts stuff, and Otto is my best friend of the community, and so I've been friends with him for forever. But other than that, like it was really lonely for me.
Yeah.
And then you had the 1-2 punch of COVID, and March Caprice, like so many people were retweeting it, and people were involved and stuff. So that like it came across my table, and I jumped in and looked at it, and started following so many people who now I'm friends with. But I think the first person that I talked to was Aba, and she and I speak the same language, especially when it comes to like references and humor and stuff.
Right.
So she immediately was like, "Oh, you have to come to Requiem." So it was pretty quickly after that first March Caprice that I met everybody else. And when March Caprice was booting back up, I was like, "Oh, I have to be a part of this." And Keynote did the branding for the first year, and I don't know if I just pushed him out.
It sounds about right.
Or if he got busy. Probably a mix of both.
Yeah.
To be fair, I don't think I've ever gone back and double checked. Maybe I did make sure that Keynote was okay with like me doing some exploratory stuff. I tried to just kind of riff on his first thing with that second year, and the logo for the second year really was a collaborative thing because there was so much back and forth with that one. But ever since then, like I don't know how many people know this, but I do all of the branding for March Caprice, and I have since that second year. So any graphics, like the themes, like for the most part, I do them. The past couple of years, I think with KH Guides joining and us having so many other things with like the concert visualizers and stuff like that, I've been less involved with those aspects of it, and really have just kind of focused on assets for the site and the branding for the theme overall for other people to kind of pick up and run with.
Right.
And for the first 2 years, like I was not credited because I was part of a job that did not like it when I did creative things. So until I think 2 years ago, did not say that I was doing all of it. But it's kind of crazy for me to look back and look at them all because they're all very different. Like
it's very fun. Very fun visual.
Someone kind of passive aggressively told me that they can tell when they can tell whenever a fan art they see is mine.
Yeah.
Which
in a negative way
felt like a read. But they all look so different to me that it's kind of like, oh, I feel pretty good about this because like we really went in different directions for every year.
A little flavor of everything with that.
Yeah.
I've always loved the themes.
Thanks. Some years are better than others. But I think when you look at them kind of as a collective, and honestly, even themes that I personally didn't gel with, they still came together pretty cool. And
I'm saying this as a compliment, just so you know. I think they've gotten better. I really think the last two were the best ones. I think the Mary Blair one and the Homecoming.
Mary Blair
you got
one,
a big fucking project coming up for this next one.
I know.
Top of that.
The Mary Blair one, kind of, in some ways it's my favorite. In some ways it's like, this looks so wonky. Do people know that this is imitating someone else's style very intentionally, or was I just bad at doing it? I don't.
No, I think even if that doesn't come through, that it's like strictly referential or inspired by something, it still carries like enough of its own identity, and it's just very dreamy, sort of light, and I don't know, very pleasant, just vibe to be in. I don't know. I think it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, and I do think as I've gotten more involved, it's been funny to see you get less involved. So that's been...
Okay, for the record, I went to the meetings every Sunday. I didn't really, all I really did was, outreach. I posted on Reddit, and, I let my community know because when they recruited me for this, my channel had not picked up yet. It was under 1,000 subs, so it was a miracle that they even found me at that rate. Um, and then once it was like that Christmas around New Year's was when my channel took off because they featured me on the YouTube gaming homepage or whatever it was. So by that point, I had like, a bit more of a following. So I was able to spread this to, people that watch me on Twitch, or I would post it on my YouTube community page. I mean, I still see people that, I first told them about March Caprice back in 2020, 2021, and they still do stuff for the event. And I just feel like so warm and fuzzy that I was a part of their contributions,
Mm-hmm.
to get them to get off the couch and make some stuff. Like that was always the credo for me, was like, hey, my biggest regret about doing stuff online with Kingdom Hearts is like, I wish I would have started so much sooner, and I had such self-doubt in myself that like nobody would care or that it wouldn't be good enough. But this whole thing is basically, for a lot of people, it was like training wheels. Like, okay, here's your opportunity to do something where people are guaranteed to watch it. And like the expectations aren't, sky high. A lot of people, this is their first time doing something. I think now they've kind of added a rule that's like you have to have at least done something else at least once, just to know that like you're not going to, post a video of nothing and call that your submission. But I think it was so good for a lot of people to like have a sort of nest that they could like start, flapping their wings from and start making things. And the nest was full of people that were encouraging. And like, it just, thinking about those first two events, especially, not that it's gotten any less positive, but I think in the wake of COVID, in the wake of like not having a space in the community myself, like just seeing people be so supportive of each other's like premieres and their art and their writing and their cosplay, everything. It really filled me with so much hope for just people, to be honest.
Yeah. Occasionally we will get a question that's like, how did you make a career out of this? Or, I'm really nervous about making stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the most important thing, and I think I said this on our Patreon the other day, is to just do it. Like, I know that's so terrifying, and that's like the least helpful bit of advice in so many ways. You kind of have to divorce yourself from the idea of an audience at first. I know that nobody wants to make stuff just for it to go into the void. And I know how disheartening it can be if you don't get any kind of traction or the attention you think you deserve. But I promise you, the most important thing is having a catalog of work that you can look back on fondly. And if you're always doing stuff for yourself first and foremost, I guarantee you will be happy. Even if you grow tremendously, even if stuff from your past is hard to watch, if you were having genuine fun when you made it, and if you are making it for yourself, you will be a lot easier on yourself. And it'll also be easier for you to like inundate and kind of go back and look at what you did and make a new version of it and just get better and to grow. And making mistakes is the most valuable part of the process.
It's true. No one wants to hear that either, but it is true. And that's, to co-sign it, that's how I felt when I started. Like, I just was having so much fun, and I still do, but that was like, at the time, my primary and really only motivating factor for making stuff was that it made me happy to do it. And if it only meant that I would show it to my friend Kiwi and maybe some, a couple dozen people would see it in their YouTube recommendations, then fine. And they would get to know my thoughts. Maybe they think it's cool. And I would get to keep talking about my thoughts in the next thing. Like, that was just the process. And that really is what you have to focus on.
Yeah. I know a lot of people are, by that notion, are kind of upset at March Caprice ending because it is that kind of fertile ground for people to make things as a community and to kind of guarantee that other people are watching your stuff.
Yeah.
Chain and Guides have both talked on stream about why this is happening and about why it's now.
Yeah.
And about why it's the both of us. But from my perspective, it is a lot to carry
it's so much
all
work.
Of this on your back.
Yeah.
It's a small team, and I pretty early on like put down a boundary of like, I am not going to review submissions. I'm not going to do the crowd control stuff.
Right.
That like I can only focus on this much of this. And watching what everyone else has done, sometimes to their own detriment, has been really inspiring, but it's also not a surprise to me that I've noticed over the years that people are like, I am running out of steam. it's not cheap either. It's not free
No.
to put all of this together, to host the website, to make the merch, to do this,
And
to do
on
that.
Guides' side to, book a venue and to
Yeah.
prepare everything for the ReConnect side of things. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, again, I don't want to talk too much about everyone's personal situations,
Right.
but it is just a lot. It is so much, and nobody makes money off of any of this. And every year, as we've kind of gone through it, like, stuff gets better and we get more in our element in terms of like running the event, but it just gets harder and harder. And I think when we did Homecoming, when we were prepping Homecoming, we knew that we were going to stop at 7.
Yeah.
And most of us had already said separately, like, I don't know if I have much more in me. And so, like, it was kind of like a bunch of like separate stars forming a constellation of like, hey, this is the end.
Right.
And by the time that we were getting ready for 7, we kind of had it on good authority that by the 25th anniversary, things were going to pick back up.
Right. Because
So
that's, March Caprice is born out of COVID, born out of the drought, like, and now like that role, it's not that like the message dies, but like the role, like the function that it served is not as needed. But the message isn't dead, but these people aren't going to be the ones that carry the flag anymore. It's up to other people to, if they want to make something in the same vein or a spiritual successor, like, nothing's stopping anybody, There's no copyright on anything. Like, I would prefer that they wouldn't say, like, this is March Caprice 8 and make it a shitty version. But I have a lot of faith in people, whether they're, current organizers that want to end up doing something else or people that have been contributors. Like, there's nothing saying that, something else doesn't come along that's something similar to this. The idea and the message of everyone coming together to celebrate this thing we all love and making things, like, you can't kill that. It doesn't matter what happens to the events. But again, we finally have stuff happening. We finally have things coming from, the horse's mouth itself, games coming out, news. And so it's not as like, we don't need this, ironically, this IV to keep us alive because we have another IV coming out soon.
Well, I think when people got the trailer and then got the 25th anniversary hint around the time that March Caprice happened this year,
right?
I think people have softened on it being this horrible, sad, devastating thing. And now, especially with ReConnect happening after the 25th anniversary next year, I think people are looking forward to it. I think it's like we're going out on a high note. We're going out into the next phase of Kingdom Hearts. Like,
right.
We're down this corridor, and the corridor was March Caprice, and now we're going through the next door.
Yeah.
And whatever happens after that is going to be different, but it's going to be beautiful, and we're still going to be here.
Yeah.
I know that you and I have a roadmap for like the next couple of years, actually, for this, if we want to keep doing it.
I do.
Which I do too. So
I hate letting go of things.
My hand is so
sweaty. I would run Chain and KSM and Danielle ragged if I could, but they're their own people. I can't make them do the event. Yeah. I would force Guides to live in that Denver hotel, but I can't. I'm just one guy.
No, and it would be so expensive. Hotels are expensive.
I know.
Do you want to talk a bit about ReConnect? Because we have more experience with organizing March Caprice, but ReConnect was also a lot of fun.
Yeah, and that sort of came to be around the same time as March Caprice. It was sort of like percolating, in the Guides corner of the internet. But originally it was called KH20. Right. It was just to celebrate the 20th anniversary. So it was March Caprice 2 coincided with KH20, which was in, I think it was Austin, Texas. I want to say it was definitely Texas.
That sounds right. I wasn't.
I think the first one was Austin, and then the second one was Dallas, if I'm not mistaken. So the first time it was just called KH20, hosted by KH Guides. I feel like Lands, I don't know if Lands had as much to do with the last two, but I feel like he was like sort of like the lieutenant to KH20, Lanes of Masters, that is. Patron of ours.
Shout out, Lance, buddy of ours.
But I remember I was still going to some early meetings for March Caprice 2 when we caught wind of this KH20 thing, and we were like, oh, does this like step on our thing, or can we like, maybe find a way to make this more of a collaborative effort? And that is what it ended up being. And, thankfully Guides is such a cool guy, like one of the hardest working and nicest people that I've met throughout, doing all of this. So a lot of time there's interplay between the March Caprice and ReConnect stuff, where if March Caprice is running, we get a trailer that announces when the next ReConnect is happening. Famously, this most recent March Caprice, announced the death of both of the events, but also that they're happening next year and it's going to be cool. The final ReConnect will be happening in Anaheim in 2027. I would like to go. It'd be cool. You're right going. There.
I don't want to fucking hear about it.
I'd be surprised if I don't. But
I mean, barring some sort of horrible tragedy, I can't imagine that we won't be there.
Yeah. So of course, the chronology, KH20 in Austin, ReConnect 1 was in Dallas, and then ReConnect 2 was in Denver this past summer. That was our first ReConnect that we went to.
Yeah.
And then Anaheim, and it makes me sad that this is the last hurrah. But again, nothing's stopping anybody from, even if it's not something to this scale, we can all find a place and go hang out for a weekend.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people take it as this doom and gloom situation where KH1 is ending and now the world barriers are back up. Well, we'll just invent some other bullshit reason why the barriers are down.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
We'll visit each other.
Yeah, and it'll be the same thing. It won't matter at all.
Yeah. You want to talk about what Denver was like? I mean, we kind of did probably maybe even in season 1, but
we did. But I will say, looking back on it, it has definitely become one of my favorite memories.
Yeah,
getting to hang out with most of the people from Requiem who could go, getting to meet you and to regular fiance in person, and bringing Alex and having everybody meet him. Having the most horrible snore orchestra that I've ever sat through the night that we all shared the same room. I don't think I've ever told you this.
Yeah, no.
The last night, so we didn't stay in a hotel room the night before. Yeah. So the last day of the event, we decided to stay because, the Million Dreams Awards was the last thing and we didn't want to miss it and whatever. So we didn't get a hotel room for that night, but enough people had left the Airbnb that Requiem had got that there was room for Alex and I to be there that final night. So we stayed there that night, and I'm not going to name names, but some of y'all fuckers desperately need a CPAP. So, and Alex snores. So it was almost like they emboldened him to be louder. And
yikes.
By process of elimination, you could probably figure out who snored, but me and David and Chain were staring at the ceiling oh my God. At one point they left. So I was in the room with Alex and the other culprits, and I was just oh my God.
That's very funny.
My God, horrible.
The crescendo Heartless, how it makes noise and it summons others? It's kind of like Alex crescendoed the other snores.
Oh, what a cute Heartless to be compared to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they changed the name to Loudmouth later on, but...
We don't have to tell him that.
Yeah. Keep it crescendi. Keep it crescendi, folks.
Yeah, but one of my favorite memories, aside from hanging out with everybody, was the Homecoming trailer.
Yeah.
I've talked about this before. Totally independent of recognition on my behalf, because I don't think anybody knew that I made it.
Yeah.
The theming, not the trailer. Ava did the trailer. It was beautiful. Right. But just seeing everybody reacting to it and resonating with that, and I don't know. Again, as someone who for a long time was not able to show things off or talk about things, as a creative, this is kind of antithetical to what I said earlier, but you just kind of hope that what you make,
well, yeah, of course you
resonates with people.
Yeah, you make it for you, but you also would love if it resonated with others.
Yeah, and that the you thing is the most important, but it is a nice bonus when other people, even if it's just one other person, ends up thinking that something you do is cool. And so that was really great.
I mean, that was the closest thing that you're going to get to hey, there's a Smash character reveal that we're going to premiere, and people are really excited. I fucking have worked with you for years on shit like this, and I was excited, I'm sitting right next to you when this thing premieres.
Yeah, it was really nice. And also I had made some Stations of Awakening art that I had not posted anywhere yet, that Bio used for his character panel.
Yeah.
That was really cool too, seeing that up on a big screen, seeing all the mistakes that I made in high definition. It was great.
Yeah.
It was cool. It was just a good time.
Yeah.
And I think the two events, March Caprice and ReConnect, combining in a way for this final year makes a lot of sense, because
Hmm.
You know, we have the programming and they have the in-person element.
Right.
And us taking on more of the loading of programming and them doing more of like, you know, having this being an event and the Disneyland angle.
It's definitely taking a bit of emphasis off of like the like planned events. Like there will be stuff, like there's going to be a Million Dreams Award and there's going to be like, you know, little things to do here and there. But you can read this on the KH Guide's website, I'm sure. But so many people, like their favorite part of all of it was just getting to be in the space with these people that they have been friends with online forever. So that's what the emphasis is there, is like the in-person togetherness. And the reason why I think, you know, March Caprice, you know, is a prelude to ReConnect, is because like the pandemic was still pretty high in effect at the point that the first March Caprice was. So like there wasn't really a time or place for an in-person thing until things started to calm down a bit, and then ReConnect happens in 2022. But yeah, you're right that March Caprice is going to have, you know, a big, huge catalog of stuff. You know what makes me most sad is that I love the concert so much, and that's always my favorite part. If I could have one thing that you know stays alive out of both of these things, it would be a concert every year. Crossing my fingers that maybe some mini David Russell out there will take up the reins in some manner.
And who knows, more official stuff might be coming down the pike. The Dandelion event, we have not really talked about it in this podcast, but Square did an in-person event for players of the mobile game, and it was a lot of fun. There's always more concerts, and you just never know. There was this thing called Disneyland of Departure that was very similar to what KH25 is doing. I don't know how long that went, but it went on for a couple of years where people, you know, they did Kingdom Hearts meetups at Disneyland. Nothing stopping any of this from continuing on. It's, you know, it'll just be different. And I think after next year, the fandom's sole focus will really be on Kingdom Hearts 4.
Yeah.
And it'll be really easy to forget about how much you miss everything
I think
going
so,
on.
Yeah.
So I don't think it'll be that sad.
Yeah. And all of the people, again, like I feel like I keep stressing this, but like, yes, the structure will be gone, but all the people involved will still be around doing stuff. You know, they stream, they make videos. You know, for some people, they need a March Caprice to kick them in the ass, so they'll make a video, but they'll do it.
All right, so the question for the episode comes from Anya. Great name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anya asks, "Hello, Pat and PJ. I've been a fan of the pod and your videos for many years now." That must be you, because I haven't been making videos for many years. Though I never really comment. Thanks for bringing me so much comfort throughout my college years. My roommates have frequently teased me about all the Kingdom Hearts brackets I've fallen asleep to.
Awesome.
Oh, boy. Now that I'm graduating and looking for a job, I wanted to ask how you both got to where you are now. When did work in the Kingdom Hearts community start looking like a job for you? And what opportunities have surprised you or helped you the most? As a fellow English major, I relate to a lot of your takes, PJ. Do you want to go first? Because you actually, this actually is your full-time job. So maybe you are the one to go off of.
Yeah, I mean, wow. It's not something that I had ever expected, but it's something I always secretly hoped for. I mean, in terms of always. I mean, you know, I was very much in the post-college, don't know what to do situation that I feel like is, you know, pretty ubiquitous with not just people my age, but I feel like that's just sort of a, you know, trope of growing up is like, okay, well.
What was your major?
I majored in mass communications and I minored in creative writing.
Oh.
So the idea was kind of like, okay, not that anyone is like, you know, lauding mass communications as this genius play, but that was like the realistic major. And then the writing minor was like, and then on the side, I have this thing that I'm more passionate about that, maybe I parlay that into something. But you know, I got out of college and, I didn't know what to do. And it was August after I graduated that I started making videos. It was September when they started to be exclusively about Kingdom Hearts, and I decided that's what the channel was going to be. And that was always just something on the back burner on the side that I would hope would blossom into something. And it was really around December of 2020 when that happened. I mean, you know, Anya asked, like, how did it happen? Like, what opportunities were offered to you? Like, you know, it really, I hate to say it, it's just luck, you know, in terms of my story, at least. Like, and obviously, like, there's things you can do to increase your luck, equip some some accessories. Get your catalog. I think PJ and I talked about this in an episode, because full disclosure, we're recording this question a little bit later.
Oops.
But you want to build that catalog up so that when something, hits that algorithm sweet spot, people have something to go back and sift through and basically binge, everything that you've done. So that's, in terms of the initial start, that's what I'd have to say on that. I don't know if that really answered what
I think
you're
kind of, anyone who gets to do what they love for a living is lucky. But I think for you, being a Kingdom Hearts creator, it's great that you are where you are right now, but also, like, optics wise, like, this is probably one of the worst times to be a Kingdom Hearts creator because of the drought. Like, nothing has really happened since you started, except maybe Sora and Smash.
Sora and Smash, really, I would say the main stories from my time on YouTube, and it's going to be 7 years in August, around 5.5-ish full-time for me. It would be Sora and Smash, KH4 trailer, the first one, I guess the second one too at this point. Mm-hmm. And I guess like Melmem and Dark Road ending, but like those things were even before I was a YouTube partner, so they didn't really factor into my, roadmap financially. Yeah. But I also look at the drought of it all and think, well, I've managed to do this during the drought. I would like to hope that, when things are happening more actively, that's a better spot for me than this. But I'm very happy and content with how things are going. I don't know how long that lasts. I don't know how, sustainable something like this is. Or again, if I parlay it into, just general gaming content or, some sort of creative outlet for me. But for now, I'm happy and I'm very lucky, like you said.
Yeah, I'm really excited for you for what's coming next because, you missed like the in-person events and the Dandelion event and the concerts. Like,
and very hard to say based on my time doing this now, how likely it is that I get reached out to. Really, the two major Square Enix or Square Enix adjacent interactions I've had were the off-mentioned Missing Link, sort of availability call, if I would be willing to, do stuff to promote that before that fell through. Not on my part, obviously. And then they sent me a code for the KH releases on Steam. That's really all I've had with them. I did apply for the partner program thing that they do, as per BioRoxas's recommendation. This was back in like 2021 or two. And, I never heard back about that. I did that twice. He said that, there is, as we know, turnover and people are changing around and you never know with that. Yeah. I also wonder if I don't fit the image that they are trying to cultivate. I really don't know.
You bring up a great point as well about like not really knowing what the future holds. Things that you try to do, things that you get any kind of experience in, it still end up becoming part of your skill set. Right. And whether you're actively pursuing your skill set or not, like they do inform the way that your life kind of evolves.
Yeah.
I guess I'll answer this half for myself. I've had a very weird life and career. A lot of parallel tracks that somehow end up intersecting. Okay, so on the YouTuber side of it, this is not my full-time career, this specific podcast, but for the past 10 or so years, like my main job has been some sort of form of YouTube creator, influencer, sponsorship, networking pipeline. When I was in college, actually even before that in high school, YouTube was created and I loved it as a storytelling platform. I never wanted to be an influencer or a vlogger or any of that. I liked the storytelling aspects of it. I fell in love with a web series called Lonely Girl 15, which was like the first thing of its kind. I was such a fan of that they ended up like tapping me to do some work when I was still in high school for like graphic design stuff and whatever. Through that, I did end up meeting people in college that loved making videos. My best friend from college was part of a collab channel that was really popular in like the John Green, Hank Green sphere. And so I ended up being in her videos so often that I just started video blogging. I got tapped to join a YouTube network. That YouTube network ended up launching an LGBT vertical, which is why they wanted me to help be one of like the indie gay creators on this thing. That ended up going nowhere because that platform ended up getting bought out by Viacom, I think, eventually, and I ended up walking away from that contract or whatever. But seeing all of those different ways in which it worked or it didn't work was really interesting to me. My college experience was I created my own major because they didn't have like a transmedia YouTube storytelling digital production pipeline stuff in the early aughts. So I had to make my own major through a specialized program that was competitive, and I had to do a bunch of horse shit with the various different department heads to get them to approve my curriculum. It was a whole thing. Eventually, I ended up working for a YouTube talent management team that ended up making its own streaming service. But making things as myself was never a priority. But I have learned so much about the YouTube ecosystem and podcasting. Oh, and I've done a bunch of audio dramas as well. So like that is also coming in. That when I ended up leaving my old job and when I decided that I wanted to make things, I just kind of started shooting from the hip in regards to what I knew I could do and the resources that I had.
But yeah, I didn't know that about a lot of what you just said, frankly. So that was,
oh my God,
that was
so
nice
much,
right?
As well. And I completely left out like all the shit I did in the Kingdom Hearts community.
Right.
Cage Insider. So yeah, honestly, it's just a lot of right place, right time, befriending people, being honest and sincere, and just pursuing the thing that you love will ultimately get you farther in like how you turn that into a part of your everyday life. Maybe start off with just the goal being to make things that you want to exist in the world, and then kind of from there.
To echo what we said in the main part of the episode prior to the question, like you have to do it for you. When I was in 5th to 8th grade, like I really did want to be that, and I wasn't doing stuff about video games at that point. I was just kind of like, you know, one of the proto YouTube vlog kind of channels. And again, I'm a child. I think I maxed out at like, I want to say 600 subscribers on like my personal, just me talking to the camera channel. And in 8th grade, we had to give a big speech at the end of the year. And my speech was about YouTube and like the pros and cons of the platform, which is, I'd love to, if I could find it, I would love to see what I thought about it back then. But it's just funny to think that I took like an 8-year break of really considering that as something I wanted to do, and then sort of fell into it anyway.
Oh, little Twinkie Pat.
Oh, and yeah, that's true. You've seen my high school senior picture. Yeah.
Here's Pat's senior picture. Here's my senior picture.
Yeah. We put them in the Patreon chat anyway. So
thanks, Anya. That was a great question and really appropriate for this episode.
It was. Yeah, it was actually perfect timing.
Yeah, I mean, she sent it back in April.
Well, listen,
this is why we hold on. This is why we hold on to things. Yeah,
because we like cohesion.
Yeah. Let's wrap this mother up. Well, hey, thanks for listening to another episode of No Sad Face. We try to post episodes every other week. Thanks for listening. If you want to catch more of our stuff, if this is the first time that you are listening, you can find our entire back catalog at nosadface.com. We're on Spotify, we're on Apple Music, we're on YouTube, we're anywhere that you get podcasts. If you also want to join our Patreon, the link is there. If you want to send us a question, the email is nosadfacepodcast@gmail.com. Huge thanks, of course, to David Russell, who edits our videos and does our music, and Esper Roba, who does all of our art. We should be back in a couple weeks. So see you then.
Stay tuned, folks. It was just like something I had to do on the side for a long while there.
Like Reno.
You know, I just thought of what'd you say, Keynote?
I said like Reno. Like we had to do it. Never mind.
I'm sorry.
Kill
I
it.
On it.
Light it on fire.
I was thinking about.
He's gonna be so mad. He's like, you take shots at me every episode.
No, we probably already did in the main episode.
I don't think we did. I try not to talk about Keynote, and here we are.
Yeah.
Whatever.